The Yu-Gi-Oh anime made a huge mistake. They gave a character the most broken deck master ever conceived, even by modern day standards. The problem was that they gave it to a terrible duelist, Johnson. His deckmaster in question was Judge Man, with its deckmaster ability being, during either player's turn, quick effect, pay 1,000 life points, banish all monsters the opponent controls, then deal 500 damage for each of their banished cards. What makes this deckmaster ability even more broken for the time period it's in is the fact that because it's a deckmaster in a deckmaster zone, it is unaffected by everything, incapable of being interacted with. And since a deckmaster can be quick summoned to the field at any point in the duel, then that means to me, if he just dueled better, he could have swept the entire virtual world arc. To find out, I'm going to take over the body of Johnson and duel against all of the protagonists in the virtual world arc and see, could I have done a better job in his place? How am I going to take over his body? Like so. I am here, Johnson. I am ready to duel. I know all of Johnson's memories now. With me in his place, could I have soloed everyone? But first, the rules. The rules are as follows. I will duel with Johnson's terrible Judgman deck. It is made up of every card Johnson played in the 2 duels that he appeared in. Opponents will always open the hand they originally opened with. The turn orders will be the same as the original duels. My opening hands will be randomized. And to make this fair, to make sure I don't do any custom hands to sort of cheese wins and stuff, I did the hand reveals live on stream so that it was all fair. On top of this, my draws will also be random. So with all that out the way, it's time I jump into the duels. Before the duel begins, Yugi picks his deckmaster, Karibo. Its deckmaster ability is negate 1 instant damage and then summon this monster to the field. Right, I'll make the first move. I draw. My opening hand consists of Armail, One-Eyed Shield Dragon, Skelangel, Mystical Elf, and 2 copies of Reinforcement of the Army. I'll start by activating both my rotors to add 2 copies of Armail from my deck straight to my hands. This is a good way to thin my deck to increase the odds of drawing the cards that I need. But I really wish that the original Johnson did put some better warrior monsters in this deck, or at least just any other warrior monster, because I would have liked a little bit of variety here. I'll set my Mystical Elf face down and end my turn. Let's see if Yugi is foolish enough to attack my face down. It's Yugi's turn, and he draws. His opening hand consists of a Noxious Celtic Guardian, Gazelle the King of Mythical Beasts, Baphomet, Dispel, Exchange, and Quick Attack. Yugi summons his Celtic Guardian into attack. He then sets his Quick Attack spell face down. Yugi enters his battle phase and attacks Mystical Elf. You fool, Yugi! You've attacked right into my Mystical Elf. So, you're the one that's gonna take the damage. 600, to be exact. Yugi ends his turn. It's my turn, and I draw Quick Attack. Useless, unfortunately, at the moment, especially with no fusion monsters, but we'll see what we can do. Now, Yugi has a set spell trap on the field. I'm a little bit worried about this. I'd love to summon my Judgman Deckmaster and just instantly win the duel here, but with that set card on the field, if that's like Mirror Force, that'll completely either beat me or it'll ruin my entire day by wiping out all my monsters. But I do have a lot of monsters in my hand, so I feel like I can be a little bit aggressive, but not too much so. Let's go. I'll use my Deckmaster's special ability, Clear the Courtroom. By paying 1,000 of my life points, I can banish all monsters on your side of the field, and for each one banished, you take 500 damage. Celtic Guardian is banished. Yugi takes 500 damage. Now I'll summon my Armail to the field and then switch Mystical Elf into attack, and both of my monsters attack Yugi directly. With no more plays, I think I'll end my turn here. It's back to Yugi, and he draws Polymerization. He activates it to fuse his Gazelle and Baphomet together in his hand to summon Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast. He activates his Quick Attack, so a fusion monster can attack on the turn that it's summoned. He attempts to attack Mystical Elf. Stop right there, Yugi. There's something I didn't reveal about my Deckmaster special ability. It can be activated during either player's turn. Go! Clear the courtroom. I banish all your monsters again at the cost of 1,000 of my life points, but you lose your fusion monster and you take 500 damage. Yugi, in a desperate move, moves into his main phase 2 and activates his exchange. Now, both duelists look at each other's hands and take one card from each other's hands. Yugi, without any monsters, takes Skell Angel. Me, I think I'll take that D-spell. Yugi sets Skell Angel face down and ends his turn. It's my turn, and the final turn of the duel. I draw and get Polymerization. It's been fun, Yugi, but for the final time, I activate my Deckmaster special ability. Clear the courtroom. At the cost of 1,000 life points, I banish your face down monster, and you take 500 damage. I play Polymerization. I fuse Armail and One-Eyed Shield Dragon in my hand together to summon Dragoness the Wicked Knight. I then play Quick Attack, so it can attack the turn it's summoned. I attack Yugi directly with Dragoness, attempting to go for game. Yugi, in response to this, activates his Deckmaster special ability. It negates the damage from the direct attack, and then it summons itself to the field. Well done, Yugi, you survived, but unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. Go, Mystical Elf! Destroy Yugi's Karibo and end this duel. With no Deckmaster, Yugi, you are eliminated. Nice! We beat the best duelist, theoretically, out of the bunch. That's one down. Who are we going against next? Taya Gardner. This should be easy. Before the duel begins, Taya chooses her Deckmaster, the Dark Magician Girl. Its Deckmaster ability is, instead of drawing for a turn, you can reveal cards on the top of your deck equal to the amount of monsters in your grave. Add one of those cards to your hand, then send the rest to the grave. And so, the duel begins and Taya goes first. She draws. Her opening hand consists of Ancient Elf, Petite Angel, Skell Angel, Offerings to the Doomed, Pot of Greed, and Mirror Force. Taya sets Mirror Force face down and then summons Ancient Elf into attack. She ends her turn. It's my turn, and I draw. My opening hand consists of Armail, Skell Angel, 2 copies of Reinforcement of the Army, Painful Choice, and Sinister Judgment. First things first, I'll activate those 2 copies of Reinforcement of the Army to add 2 more Armails from my deck straight to my hand. Next, I'll play Painful Choice. This card allows me to show you any 5 cards in my deck, then you pick one of them for me to add to my hand. Everything else is sent to the grave. Now, Painful Choice is a great card, but I actually don't have 5 amazing cards in the deck that Taya would be, like, whatever she picks would be a benefit for me. There's like really bad cards and a couple good ones, so they're obviously never going to pick the good ones. So I can either pick a bunch of monsters to guarantee a monster to my hand, or I can pick a bunch of the bad cards in my deck that I don't need and hope they go to the grave to thin my deck so I'm more likely to draw my good cards. I'm going to go with that one since I have a bunch of monsters in my hand. I reveal 3 copies of Defusion and 2 copies of Quick Attack. Taya adds to my hand Defusion. The rest go to the grave. Since I've got Sinister Judgment in my hand, that means that I can make my fusion monster attack on the turn they're summoned anyway, so I didn't need those quick attacks anyway, so they should have been the ones I should have got rid of first, so never mind. However, I think it's time I use my Deckmaster's special ability. Clear the courtroom. At the cost of 1,000 my life points, I banish all your cards, Taya. You take 500 damage for each. I'll summon my Armail to the field and then use it to attack you directly. I think I'll end my turn here. It's back to Taya, and she draws Fire Sorcerer. Taya activates Pot of Greed to draw 2 new cards. She gets Mystical Space Typhoon and Magic Formula. Taya summons Fire Sorcerer into attack. She equips it with Magic Formula to increase its attack by 500. Taya enters her battle phase and attacks Armail. Alas, I'm sorry to do this, Taya, but my Deckmaster special ability works on either player's turn. Go! Clear the courtroom. I banish your monster again. Taya, you take 500 damage. Taya moves into her main phase 2. She sets Mystical Space Typhoon and Offerings to the Doomed face down and ends her turn. It's my turn, and I draw Pot of Greed. I'll activate it to draw 2 new cards. I get Painful Choice and One-Eyed Shield Dragon. Next, I'll activate Painful Choice. I'll reveal Quick Attack, another copy of Painful Choice, Skell Angel, Mystical Elf, and Curtain of the Dark One. Taya lets me add Skell Angel. The rest are sent to the grave. Now, I'd love to push for game this turn, but there's 3 set cards on Taya's field. I can't bring my Judgment to the field. It's way too risky. So, I'll play it slow. I'll summon my Skell Angel into face down defense and then attack you directly with Armail. I'll end my turn here. It's back to Taya, and she draws Mahavilo. She summons it to the field. She enters her battle phase and attacks Armail. Oof, this is a bit risky, but if this plays off, I'll win on my next turn. I use my Deckmaster's special ability for the final time. I pay 1,000 life points to banish your monsters and deal 500 damage to you. Mahavilo is banished. Taya's life points drop to 1,100. Taya ends her turn. It's my turn, and I draw, yes, Hysteric Angel. There's still 3 set cards on Taya's field, and I only have 1,000 life points now, which means I don't have my Deckmaster special ability, and I also have no ways of increasing my life points at the moment. My Hysteric Angel can, but I need 2 monsters to tribute to use its ability. So my plan is going to be attack with Skull Angel and Armail directly, and hopefully go for game. If I don't win this turn, and these 2 monsters stay on the field, I'll go into my main phase 2, normal summon my Hysteric Angel, tribute those 2 monsters, I'll gain 1,000 life points, and I can use my Deckmaster ability again if Taya tries to counterattack me. I definitely think I have spammed my ability a little bit too much here, but I have game on the field, so it should all be worth it, right? I flip up my Skull Angel, its flip effect activates, which lets me draw a card. I get Curtain of the Dark One. I would have liked a polymerization or something, but sure. I'm gonna move straight into my battle phase and order Skull Angel and Armail to attack you directly, Taya. Taya, in response, activates her set trap, Mirror Force. Armail and Skull Angel are both destroyed. Oof, well done, Taya. You survived another turn. I'm actually in a bit of a pickle here. I guess I've got 2 choices here. I can either set my Skull Angel face down. That way I get a draw if it's attacked. It's got low defense, but I guess that's fine. Or I could summon my Hysteric Angel to the field, and then that has high attack, a good offense, can be a good defense, but that makes me more susceptible to card effects and battle destruction damage. So I guess I'll play defensive. I'll set my Skull Angel and I'll put a bait defusion face down and end my turn. As my turn comes to an end, Taya activates her quick play spell, Mystical Space Typhoon, destroying my set defusion. It's Taya's turn, and the final turn of the duel. Wait, what did the narrator just say? Wait, hold on a minute. She draws and gets Graceful Charity. She activates it to draw 3 new cards, but then she must discard 2. She draws and gets Michizur, Gemini Elf, and Polymerization. She discards Michizur and Polymerization. Taya summons Gemini Elf to the field. She enters her battle phase and attacks and destroys Skull Angel. Skull Angel lets me draw a card since it was flip summoned. I get Leading Question. This will do nothing for me. Taya, Deckmaster summons her Dark Magician Girl to the field. She attacks Johnson directly, attempting to go for game. She's kind of forced my hand here, but I should be safe. I summon my Deckmaster to the field, Judge Man. With 2200 attack, Dark Magician Girl isn't strong enough to get over it. However, Taya planned for this. Taya, anticipating this move, activates her quick play spell, Offerings to the Doomed. This card destroys a face-up monster on the field at the cost of skipping her next draw phase. Judge Man is destroyed. Since the Deckmaster has been destroyed, Johnson loses the duel. No! Taya beat me? I honestly promise that this was not scripted or anything like that. This is legit. I played the duel as if I actually did duel Taya, and I didn't do any like takebacks or anything like that. I played to the best of my ability. And she still won. The meme continues. She's undefeated. I think what helped her win that duel was the fact that she had some really, really powerful cards. Gemini Elf, 1900 attack, stronger than my Hysteric Angel. Very, very good. Always had set cards in the field. I could never like push for game early with Judge Man. And I did overuse my Deckmaster ability. I shouldn't have spammed it as much. That is a lesson I will need to learn from this point forward. And of course, Mirror Force, Offerings to the Doomed. That's powerful. I have no back row removal, and I have no devastating back row. I've just got weak monsters, and I have to combo with so many cards. So I'm not going to be salty. Taya, well done. That was a fantastic duel. GG. GG. Oh, and fun fact, Taya couldn't use her Deckmaster ability, by the way, because I kept banishing all of her monsters. So with nothing in the grave, she couldn't pick up a bunch of random cards. So fun fact, by the way. Okay, so that's 1 for me and 1 for the good guys. Can we pick up in our next duel? Joey! Easy peasy. Before the duel begins, Joey chooses his Deckmaster as the Flame Swordsman. Its Deckmaster ability is it can give its attack points in multiples of 100 to a monster he controls if it's a warrior monster, and And so the duel begins and I go first. I draw. My opening hand consists of Hysteric Angel, Leading Question, Quick Attack, Defusion, Painful Choice, and Sinister Justice. Right, I'll start by doing something the real Johnson never did. I play Painful Choice. Now I pick 5 cards in my deck and Joey gets to pick 1 to add to my hand. The rest are sent to the grave. Now I don't actually have very many monsters in my hand, so I think it's in my best interest to try and get more monsters. So I'm going to reveal Mystical Elf, Curtain of the Dark One, Skell Angel, One-Eyed Shield Dragon, and Armail. Joey chooses to add to my hand Curtain of the Dark One. That makes sense, it's the weakest of the bunch and it's a vanilla. Skell Angel was weaker, but I guess he doesn't want me to have a draw. I'll summon my Hysteric Angel into attack and end my turn. It's Joey's turn and he draws. His opening hand consists of Gearfried the Iron Knight, Tiny Guardian, Panther Warrior, Swordsman of Landstar, Gamble, and Bottomless Trap Hole. Joey summons his Gearfried into attack. He immediately activates his Flame Swordsman's Deckmaster ability, transferring 500 of its attack to Gearfried, making it now stronger than Hysteric Angel. Joey enters his battle phase and attacks Hysteric Angel. However, I activate my Deckmaster's special ability, Clear the Courtroom. I banish all monsters on your side of the field and deal 500 damage for each. Joey moves into his main phase 2 and sets Bottomless Trap Hole face down and ends his turn. It's my turn, and I draw Reinforcements of the Army. Now, it would be very easy for me to win this turn by summoning my Judge Man to the field, but Joey has a set card on the field, so I can't push for game like this. It's not worth the risk. So I'll play it safe. I'll activate Reinforcements of the Army to add Armail from my deck straight to my hand, and then I'll normal summon it into attack, and attack you directly with Armail and Hysteric Angel. With only 1,000 life points left, Joey, I end my turn. It's Joey's turn, and he draws Rocket Warrior. Joey summons his Tiny Guardian into attack. He boosts its attack with his Deckmaster ability, and then enters his battle phase. However, I activate my Deckmaster ability, banishing your monster. Clear the courtroom. With no more plays, Joey ends his turn. It's my turn, and the final turn of the duel. I draw and get another Reinforcement of the Army, but it doesn't matter. I simply enter my battle phase and attack Joey directly with a Hysteric Angel. Joey summons his Flame Swordsman to the field to defend himself, but since it's weaker, it's destroyed. I win the duel since Joey's Deckmaster has been eliminated. Sorry, Joey, unlike the real Johnson who required cheating just to lose, I can duel you fairly and still win. Yes, my Deckmaster's broken. That's regardless of the point. Okay then, who've got next on the bracket? Oh, Serenity Wheeler, Tristan, and Duke Devlin. 3 against 1. Ooh, could be tough. Before the duel begins, Serenity chooses Goddess with the Third Eye as her Deckmaster. Its ability is she can discard 1 spell to perform a fusion summon. Tristan chooses Super Robo Yaru. Its Deckmaster ability is when it battles, Tristan can set 1 spell trap in his hand, and if he does this, Super Robo Yaru gains 1000 attack. Duke chooses Strike Ninja. Its Deckmaster ability is Quick Effect, discard 2 cards, activate 1 set spell or trap, as if you are the controller. And so, the duel begins and Serenity goes first. She draws, and her opening hand consists of Shadow Tamer, Witch of the Black Forest, Fire Princess, The Forgiving Maiden, Scroll of Bewitchment, and Bad Reaction to Samochi. Serenity immediately misplays by summoning her Shadow Tamer, a monster with terrible stats, into attack. With no further plays, she ends her turn. It's Tristan's turn, and he draws. His opening hand consists of Cyber Commander, Launcher Spider, Sangen Jin, the A Forces, Double Snare, and Garma Sword Oath. Tristan purposefully misplays here by summoning his weak Cyber Commander into attack, hoping it will tempt Johnson into attacking him instead of Serenity. With no more plays, Tristan ends his turn. It's Duke's turn, and he draws. His opening hand consists of the 13th Grave, Dimension Dice, and 4 mysterious cards. He summons the 13th Grave into defense, and then ends his turn. It's my turn, and I draw. My opening hand consists of 2 copies of Armail, Reinforcements of the Army, Pot of Greed, and 2 copies of Leading Question. Ballot throw hand, am I right? Okay, I'll start by activating Reinforcements of the Army to add my final copy of Armail to my hand. Next, I'll play Pot of Greed. It lets me draw 2 new cards. I get Hysteric Angel and quick attack. With 3 monsters on your guys' side of the field, I think now is the moment I use my Deckmaster's special ability. Clear the courtroom. I pay 1,000 life points to banish all 3 of your monsters on your field. You each take 500 damage. Now I'll summon my Hysteric Angel to the field. Now, who to attack? Well, Serenity, I saw her misplay pretty hard. I feel like she's going to be a bigger hindrance to the team if I leave the weakest player there. So we're not going to attack Serenity. Tristan just completely wasted his turn. He seems to be white knighting for Serenity over there, so I might leave Tristan alone for now as well. Duke seems to be playing the best. I should eliminate the biggest threat first. So I'll attack you directly, Duke. Duke takes 1,800 direct damage. Right, I'll end my turn here. It's Serenity's turn, and she draws Shadow Tamer. Realizing the misplay she made on her first turn, she tries to make up for it by summoning a high defense point monster to the field. Unfortunately, she summons it into attack by mistake. Serenity ends her turn. It's Tristan's turn, and he draws Block Attack. He activates it to switch Serenity's monster into defense to fix a mistake. With no further plays, Tristan ends his turn. It's Duke's turn, and he draws Yoranzo. He summons it into defense. He then sets Dimension Dice face down and ends his turn. It's my turn, and I draw Diffusion. Oh, God. I'm sick of these dead draws in Johnson's deck, by the way, so terrible. Now, I want to use my Deckmaster ability here. Banish a couple of those monsters on the field. Duke's wide open for a direct attack, meaning I could defeat him. But most likely, he will summon his 2,350 Swift Ninja Deckmaster to the field, which means I can't win. That does mean on the next turn, I can use my Deckmaster ability again and eliminate Duke with it, but then I only have 1,000 life points left. I'll have all my monsters in attack, and I won't have my special ability anymore. So I don't think that's worth it. I think I've learned my lesson from the last duel. I'm going to play it a bit slower. Plus Duke has a set card on the field. I'm kind of scared of that. Instead, I'll summon my Armail into defense. I'll move into my battle phase and use Hysteric Angel to attack Tristan directly, since he's wide open. Tristan's life points drop to 1,700. Duke's are also 1,700, while Serenity sits at 3,500. Alright then, with that, I'll end my turn. It's Serenity's turn, and she draws Dark Lord Marie. Serenity realizes how a Deckmaster ability works. She activates it. She discards her Scroll of Bewitchment spell to fuse Marie the Fallen One in her hand and Forgive a Maiden to make St. Joan. Since St. Joan is allowed to attack on the turn it's summoned, despite being a fusion, she attacks Johnson's Hysteric Angel. Whoa, well done, Serenity. That's actually a really good play. I didn't want to use my Deckmaster ability, but you forced my hand. I can't lose my Hysteric Angel like this. Go! Clear the courtroom! I pay 1,000 life points to banish all monsters on the opponent's side of the field. St. Joan and Yoranzo are banished. Serenity's life points drop to 3,000, Duke's down to 1,200. Serenity summons her Fire Princess into defense and ends her turn. Honestly, good turn, Serenity. That actually wasn't too bad. Maybe I did underestimate you. It's Tristan's turn, and he draws Rare Metal Soul. Unable to summon anything, he sets his Rare Metal Soul face down and ends his turn. It's Duke's turn, and he draws Dark Assailant. Unable to attack over Johnson's 1,300 defense Armail, he summons his Dark Assailant into defense and ends his turn. It's my turn, and I draw Painful Choice. I'll use it straight away. I'll reveal 2 copies of Diffusion, 2 copies of Quick Attack, and Sinister Justice. They add Sinister Justice to my hand, and the rest go to the grave. Okay, that was just to thin my deck, get the bad cards out the way. I really need to draw some polymerizations or something. I've got one more usage of my Deckmaster ability left, so that's why all the opponents are scared of bringing their Deckmasters to the field, despite me not having any back rows. So, okay, it's time to go on the attack, I think. I'll summon my second Armail to the field into attack. I'll switch the first into attack as well. Go! Armail number 1, attack Tristan directly. However, in response, Tristan Deckmaster summons his Robo Yaru. Robo Yaru's special ability activates. It forces Armail to attack into it, and it gains 1,000 attack points if Tristan sets a spell or trap in his hand. He sets his ritual spell. Not only that, but Tristan uses his set Quick Play spell to boost its attack to 3,200. If this attack goes through, Johnson will lose the duel. That's a good play, Tristan. But I refuse. I use my Deckmaster ability at the cost of 1,000 life points. I banished Super Robo Yaru alongside Duke's Dark Assailant and Serenity's Fire Princess. Serenity's life points dropped to 2,500, Tristan's to 1,200, and Duke's to 700. Unfortunately, Tristan Taylor, since your Deckmaster is no longer on the field, you are eliminated from this duel. Be gone! However, Tristan, before his defeat, reveals this was all part of his plan, as now, with only 1,000 life points left, Johnson's Deckmaster ability is completely cut off, meaning Duke can bring his Deckmaster to the field. Tristan is defeated. Since the monster I originally attacked is no longer on the field, a replay occurs. I use Armail now to attack Duke directly. However, to keep himself in the duel, Duke Deckmaster summons his Strike Ninja to the field. A replay occurs here. I'm going to choose not to attack because it's too powerful. Instead, I attack Serenity directly with my second Armail and Hysteric Angel. Serenity, with no more life points, is also eliminated. Tristan's sacrifice was valiant. However, Duke, there will be no next turn. I move into my main phase 2. Now, Tristan's sacrifice, it was a good play. Got my life points down to 1,000. I can't use my Deckmaster ability anymore. And you've got your Deckmaster on the field now. It's stronger than all my monsters. However, Tristan didn't read my card. Hysteric Angel's special ability. I activate it. By attributing 2 monsters on the field, I can increase my life points by 1,000. I attribute my 2 Armails to increase my life points to 2,000. Sorry, Duke, you will not be getting another turn, unfortunately. I activate, for the final time, my Deckmaster special ability. Clear the courtroom. I pay 1,000 life points to banish all monsters on the field. Duke, your Deckmaster is also banished. Duke loses the duel. Nice! Fun fact, this was actually a much tougher duel than I thought it would be because 3 opponents means that I have to be really careful with my Deckmaster ability because if I use it and then the next player summons more monsters, they can just keep attacking me. So I feel like I played very, very well here. So yeah, if I would have spammed my Deckmaster ability, I literally wouldn't have been able to survive that Super Yobo Raru play. I always forget his name. I'm going to count that as 3 wins. So these 3 have been beaten. Joey's been beaten. Yugi's been beaten. Taya beat me. I have 1 duel left against Seto Kaiba. Let's see how we do. Before the duel begins, Kaiba picks his Deckmaster, Lord of D. Its Deckmaster ability is once per turn, he can normal summon a Dragon-type monster in addition to his normal summon or set. Right, I'll go first. I draw. My opening hand consists of Hysteric Angel, Mystical Elf, One-Eyed Shield Dragon, and 3 copies of Painful Choice. Oh my god, I guess rip 15 cards from my extra deck? Alright, here we go. I play the first Painful Choice, I reveal 5 cards. Kaiba lets me add Skull Angel to my hand. The rest go to the grave. I play Painful Choice number 2, I reveal 5 cards. He adds to my hand, Quick Attack, the rest go to the grave. I reveal another 5 cards. Kaiba adds Defusion to my hand, the rest go to the grave. Right, with my deck severely depleted, but hopefully I draw into better cards, I'll set my Mystical Elf face down to defense. And my turn. Let's see if Kaiba's foolish enough to attack it. It's Kaiba's turn, and he draws. His opening hand consists of Spear Dragon, Giant Germ, Wicked Worm Beast, Crush Card Virus, Polymerization, and Defusion. Kaiba summons his Spear Dragon to the field and attacks Mystical Elf. Spear Dragon is weaker, so Kaiba takes 100 damage. Spear Dragon switches itself into defense after it attacks. Kaiba sets his Crush Card Virus face down and ends his turn. It's back to me, and I draw Armail. Another set card on Kaiba's side of the field. I can't summon my Judge Man to the field again, so I haven't summoned my Judge Man this entire playthrough today, so never mind. I'll summon my Hysteric Angel into attack mode, then I'll switch Mystical Elf into attack and enter my battle phase. Mystical Elf attacks Spear Dragon, Hysteric Angel attack Kaiba directly. Kaiba's life points are at 2100. I'll set my Defusion as a bait, and just in case Kaiba does fuse, face down, and end my turn. It's Kaiba's turn, and he draws Magic Reflector. Kaiba sets his Giant Germ face down, and ends his turn. It's my turn, and I draw Reinforcements of the Army. I activate it to add another copy of Armail to my hand. I summon Armail to the field. Now, Kaiba, your lack of defense and you playing defensively, kind of worrying. You're more of an offensive duelist, so that makes me think there's something suspicious going on that side of the field. I imagine you want me to attack in your face down, but I'm not going to. I would have done this anyway, but still, I'm gonna use my Deckmaster ability. Clear the courtroom. I banish all monsters on your side of the field, and you take 500 damage for each one banished. Giant Germ is banished. Kaiba's Crush Card Virus is unable to be activated in response. It seems you're wide open for attack again, Kaiba. I'll summon my Armail to the field. Go, Armail, attack Kaiba directly. Mystical Elf, attack directly. Finally, Hysteric Angel. Win me this duel. Yep, even if Kaiba would have brought out his Deckmaster here, he still would have lost. I've just attacked it and destroyed it with my Hysteric Angel. We win! We beat Kaiba! So, with that all out the way, it turns out, yes, Johnson could have beat Yugi, Joey, Kaiba, Tristan, Duke, and Serenity, but he couldn't have beat Taya Gardner, which is actually hilarious. I think I could have beat Taya if I played a lot more defensively and sort of sat on my Deckmaster abilities a lot more and maybe prioritized Hysteric Angel gaining life points, but doesn't it just show you how bad Johnson's deck is by the fact that I made a fusion monster once in the first duel, and I never used any of the continuous spells in all of these duels. Like, this deck was so bad. It was rubbish. Absolutely awful deck. You imagine if he had a good deck as well, how much better he would be. Now, making this video has solidified what I did know before, but scripting duels is very difficult. It's really hard. There's so much you have to consider, and this is early Yu-Gi-Oh! The Deckmaster spiced things up quite a bit more. It makes it a little bit more complicated to structure, but there you go. This is how people would play with optimal Deckmaster usage. Pretty fun. Now, if you would like to see a sequel to this video where Johnson turns good / evil, I guess, and turns against the big five Noah Gozaboru, then I guess we could do Johnson versus all of the villains as a sequel video. So yeah, if you like the idea of that, hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll definitely make it. Other than that though, thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun to make. I shaved my beard for this. And I bought a tie, and I still have the tag on it. Cost me £14, this did. So yeah, thank you for watching. Catch you later. Bye, everyone.